Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about a car that stands for reliability all around the world. A car that has accompanied millions of people for years, and one that's still considered a symbol of durability and simplicity. The Toyota Corolla E120. Built between 2001 and 2007, it was one of the best-selling cars on the planet. And if you're looking for a used compact car that simply works, you'll want to listen carefully, because the Corolla E120 is much more than just a boring means of transportation, if you know what to look for. The E120 was the successor to the E110 generation and represented Toyota's move from a simple, practical vehicle toward a more modern global car. Toyota wanted to move away from the purely reliable but dull image and create something that looked better, drove better, and appealed to a wider audience. The E120 was produced all over the world as a hatchback, sedan, and wagon. In some markets, it also appeared as the Corolla Verso, the compact MPV version. Before we dive into the engines, one thing needs to be said. The Corolla E120 was never about emotion. It was about logic, and that's exactly its strength. Anyone who buys a Corolla buys peace of mind. This is a car that just works, day after day, year after year. Let's start with the engines. The base engine was the 1.4-litre VVTi with 97 horsepower, a classic robust motor using Toyota's variable valve timing system. It's smooth and very reliable, though it needs revs to perform. Around town and on country roads it's perfectly fine, but on the highway, especially when fully loaded, it can feel a bit weak. Still, its reliability is legendary. The only common issue is light oil consumption at higher mileage, usually due to skipped oil changes. Otherwise, these engines can easily hit 300,000 kilometers or more. Next is the 1.6-litre VVTi with 110 horsepower. Probably the best all-around choice for this generation. It offers noticeably more torque while staying fuel efficient. It's quiet, smooth, and responsive. Again, oil changes are crucial because early VVTi engines were known for some oil usage. A puff of blue smoke on cold start can be a sign. Apart from that, it's an excellent, long-lasting motor that's cheap to maintain. Then, there's the 1.8-litre engine found in the sporty Corolla T-Sport. This one is special, a real sleeper. Under the hood sits the 1.8-litre VVTLi engine with 192 horsepower, the same base engine used in the Celica T-Sport and even in the Lotus Elise. It's a high-revving unit that comes alive at 6,000 RPM and pulls hard to the red line. For many, it was the first Corolla that actually felt sporty. But it's also demanding. Oil level checks and frequent oil changes are essential. Neglect it and you risk engine failure. So if you're buying a T-Sport, make sure it's been properly maintained. Now, let's talk diesels. Very popular back then, especially in Europe. The 2.0 D4D with 90 or 110 horsepower is a solid and long-lasting diesel. The 110 horsepower version is the better choice thanks to its stronger torque and better highway performance. The engine itself is tough, but injectors and turbos can wear out with high mileage. Still, with proper maintenance, this motor can easily do 500,000 kilometers. Around 2004, the 1.4 D4D appeared with 90 horsepower. Small, but surprisingly efficient. Perfect for commuters and those who drive shorter distances. It's durable as long as the timing belt is replaced on time. And that's a key point with the Corolla E120 overall. Regular maintenance makes all the difference. Moving to the body and interior. The Corolla E120 was solidly built. Not luxurious, but everything fits, everything works. The doors close with a satisfying sound, the plastics are simple but age well. Even after 20 years, many interiors still look clean and intact. Corrosion is rarely a problem. Toyota did great rust-proofing. Only small spots under the doors or around the rear suspension might appear. Nothing major. The suspension is comfortable, maybe a bit soft, but perfect for long trips. With older cars, you might notice some knocking from worn bushings or shocks, but parts are cheap and easy to replace. Manual gearboxes are reliable, but can get a bit noisy in fifth gear after hundreds of thousands of kilometers. Usually worn bearings. Changing the gearbox oil often helps. Automatic transmissions were also available, mostly with the 1.6-litre engine. They're old-school 4-speed automatics, smooth and incredibly durable if the fluid was changed regularly. If not, shifting can feel a bit rough. One of the Corolla's biggest strengths is its practicality. It's quiet, easy to drive, and surprisingly roomy. The trunk in the sedan and wagon is big, and the seats are comfortable and durable. Equipment was typically Toyota, modest but functional. Air conditioning, electric windows, and ABS were standard. ESP came later in the production run. When it comes to driving, the Corolla E120 isn't a corner carver. It's safe, stable, and predictable, but not particularly exciting. The steering is light and precise enough, the suspension's soft, and the brakes are reliable. It's the kind of car you can drive every day without thinking about it, and that's exactly its charm. Reliability is the Corolla's superpower. In nearly every reliability report, ADAC, TUV, DEKRA, the E120 scores near the top. Electrical issues are rare, engine failures almost always come down to neglect. The suspension lasts forever, and parts are cheap. Toyota really built a car here that you can buy, drive, and forget about, in a good way. Of course, no car is perfect. The sound insulation isn't great. Above 130 kilometers per hour, things get a bit noisy. The seats could use more lateral support on long trips, and the steering, while light, doesn't have much road feel. The design is a bit plain too. Some call it boring, others call it timeless. If you're considering a used Corolla E120, look carefully at the service history. Oil changes, timing belt, brake fluid, and cooling system maintenance. If all that's been done, you're looking at one of the most dependable cars you can buy. The petrol engines run fine on regular fuel, and the diesels prefer good quality diesel without additives. On a test drive, listen for engine noises, check for smooth idling, and make sure there's no excessive smoke. If everything feels calm and consistent, chances are you've found a true long-distance champion. Prices for used Corolla E120s are now very attractive. Well-maintained examples start around €2,000, while top-condition, low-mileage ones can reach $4,000 to $5,000. And if you find a clean T-Sport, you've got yourself a future classic. Just make sure it hasn't been abused. Running costs are another huge advantage. Insurance, taxes, and maintenance are all low. Even original Toyota parts are affordable, and aftermarket parts are everywhere. Brake discs, filters, or suspension parts are some of the cheapest in its class. A typical service costs little more than a dinner out, and fuel economy is excellent. Most petrol versions easily manage 6 to 7 litres per 100 kilometres, while diesels can go under 5. This car proves that owning a reliable vehicle doesn't have to cost a fortune. Ask Corolla owners and you'll hear the same story over and over. It just keeps going. Some drivers have covered over 400,000 kilometers with only routine maintenance, and that's exactly why the E120 still has such a loyal fan base. It's not flashy, but it earns your respect quietly every day. For young drivers, students, or anyone needing a dependable daily car, this is one of the best used buys on the market. In the end, the Toyota Corolla E120 remains one of the most reliable cars ever made. It's not exciting, but it's honest. It won't let you down, it won't drain your wallet, and it'll just keep going. For anyone who wants a car that simply works, this is still one of the best choices out there. If you're looking for an affordable, dependable used car, take a look at the Toyota Corolla E120. Whether petrol or diesel, hatchback or sedan, with a well-maintained one, you can't really go wrong. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, share your experiences with the Corolla in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next buyer's guide. Thanks for watching, and see you next time when we dive into another car that deserves a closer look.